So usually my mom is the one that asks this question, but have you eaten yet? I haven't. So we're going to make some spaghetti. Nothing fancy, no names, nothing, just what I happen to have floating around in the refrigerator. So we're going to get started and do a little pepperoni. And this might get a little boring because it's just me and just kind of doing it for the fun of it. So you can use whatever pepperoni you want. This happens to be stick pepperoni, so I'm just going to use a piece of one. I'm going to chop it up. You can dice it, slice it, whatever you want to do. I'm not talking while I'm dicing, it's so that I don't slice my fingers. But like I said, you can cut this up however you like. So that's good enough. I'm going to put a little olive oil in a pan here. And drop that pepperoni in there. That's mostly just to heat it up. Pepperoni is already cooked, so you don't really have to do anything with it. And grab myself a stirring spoon. Turn this up a little bit. While that's going, add a little bit of minced garlic. I don't know if you're a fan of garlic. I am. Use however much you think is appropriate. And I keep this easy onion stuff around. It's already pre-chopped and it's almost like puree, so it's just easy to do. A lot of that. That just kind of get warmed up there. If you want a little bit of spice, you can put some crushed red pepper. And of course, some salt. Don't go too wild because the pepperoni does have salt in it. Some pepper. Doesn't look like much. Kind of let that sit in there enough to where the onions and the garlic just barely start to turn a little brown. You don't want to burn it because then it gets really, really bitter. And some tomato sauce. This is some kind of spaghetti sauce, so it does have some seasonings in it already, but it's just what I had on hand. So, and how much you use just depends on how much pasta you're gonna make. Let that warm up in there. If you have some fresh basil or oregano or whatever, you can put that in there too. I don't have any fresh at the moment, so we'll do a little bit of dried basil. And basil's about my favorite. You can put oregano in it. I don't care for it a whole lot myself. To me, it's a little bit bitter. So the tomato sauce is in there. We're just kind of letting it get a little warm up, let the flavors kind of meld a little bit. And the reason I'm using this rather large pan is because it's wide enough to fit the pasta without breaking it. So the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of water. I'm not going to use a lot. And that's mostly because I want the pasta to absorb the water, and I don't want to have to drain it later since we already have the sauce in there. So for the moment, this is going to really dilute the pasta sauce. So it's not very thick at the moment. So we're going to let that sit for a bit. And when we put the pasta in, pasta just kind of sit there. There's not a lot of pasta since I'm just making it for myself. So just let that sit there. We're going to let it boil. And since you're not using a lot of water, it's going to come to a boil quite a bit faster. So just kind of have to watch it. While we're waiting on that, put stuff away. This is the boring part, of just waiting for it to come to boil. There's a dish. I haven't made it yet, but if you would not have added the water to the sauce and you just put your pasta in it, there's this thing called pasta all'assassina, which is, it looks weird because you almost burn the pasta in the sauce, but you use a fair bit of sauce but no water, and you just let the pasta cook in there, and it looked good. I've never tried it, so I might have to do that one of these days. So I think I'm going to pause the video just for the sake of time, and I'll turn it back on here when we get a little bit closer to boiling. So we're a little bit closer. You can see the pasta isn't quite soft enough yet, so I'm going to let that just kind of simmer in that for a little bit longer. So we'll pause it again and come back here in just a little bit when it's a little bit closer, so that I don't waste all of your time. So we're getting closer. I don't know if you can see or not, probably not, but your pasta should be getting thicker, and the sauce, the water should be evaporating. And as it evaporates, it'll finish cooking. You can kind of judge the pasta to whatever doneness you want. I like mine just a little over al dente. I don't really like mushy pasta though. That's kind of overkill if you ask me. But oh, and if you want to criticize, go ahead. I don't care. I'm not a chef. I'm not even a cook. I just gotta eat. So figured I'd make something. So we're gonna let this simmer for a little bit longer, and we'll be back in a little bit. Well, we're just about there. So most of the water has boiled off, and our pasta is just about done. And I would like to make this a little creamy. I totally forgot about the cheese, and I don't know where my cheese grater is, so we're just going to use a little bit of sour cream. Normally I would use heavy cream, but either way will work. If you don't like it, skip the step. Don't need a lot, just mix it in. And turn from a red color kind of more towards like an orangish color. So I may have put just a little bit too much in, but that's okay. So we're basically done. So we're gonna turn this off. Since it's electric, it'll take a while to cool down. And as an aside, I always thought these were serving bowls. That's what we used them for in my home growing up. But apparently they're pasta bowls, not serving bowls. You can use them for either one, but I just thought it was interesting that it was technically a pasta bowl. So this is a little bit better tool for plating it. I've never been much for plating, so I'm just gonna pour it in here. If you want to get a little fancy, you can kind of pour a little bit. I've never been any good at that, so I'm just not gonna worry about it. So I don't know, maybe it doesn't look that good to you, but I think it's okay. Like I said, I got a little bit too much of the sour cream in it. Probably could have used a little bit less, but I'm sure it'll taste just fine. So that's my dinner. What's yours? Catch you later, guys.